Well, as earnings season continues, investors are remaining focused on taking a look back at how companies performed in the last quarter. But the CEO of one advisor group is emphasizing the importance of focusing on more than just quarterly results. I do want to bring in Gregory Milano, the founder and CEO of Fortuna Advisors, to talk more about that strategy. Hi, Greg. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Hi, Greta. Thanks for having me on.
In your book, Curing Corporate Short-Termism, you talk about how important it is for a company to focus on more than just quarterly earnings to ensure a future of growth. Explain that strategy for us and how it changes the way a business operates.
These days, many companies are so focused on their quarterly results that they don't really invest enough in the future. Sometimes to achieve their short-term performance, they sacrifice investments in innovation and marketing and training and things that directly affect their near-term profitability. And it slows down growth, it hurts economic growth, and it really reduces the total performance for shareholders.
You emphasize developing a culture of ownership and management at a company. What exactly does that mean for businesses here in the U.S.?
Well, I think it means that you, in a culture of ownership, you act like an owner. You think just as much about the long term as the short term. Owners that I've worked with have really wanted to drive current performance all the time, but they would never get there by sacrificing the future. So, it's really, as I say, it's all about both. And to accomplish it, you have to do more than just talk about it. You have to change the fundamental measures, the planning tools, the resource allocation tools, and very importantly, the executive incentives in order to motivate better manager behavior.
If businesses implement this shift from focusing just on quarterly earnings and focusing more on long-term growth and not having that focus on let's beat those quarterly expectations, how does that change how investors look at companies if there's a change there?
I think when somebody misses earnings because they stepped up R&D, as long as the market believes it's a reasonable thing to be spending the R&D money on, they tend to react pretty positively. If somebody's squeezing things that are really investments in the long term in order to achieve short-term results, I think investors get that. That's why sometimes you'll see earnings beat the consensus, but the share price was down. The quality of the earnings is not that good. And so the focus sometimes is too much on the absolute, I have to beat a number, and not enough on the quality of how well I'm running the business to produce numbers that really matter.
An argument could be made that the current quarterly earnings strategy really benefits shareholders, but not the company at large. How do your strategies help a company benefit more than just its shareholders?
Well, I think my strategies benefit the shareholders as well. If you think about it, a management team should be willing to make an investment they strongly believe in, even if they believe it's going to be misinterpreted in the short run. We make an investment now, maybe the share price goes down 5, 10, 15% in the near term. But if we're right, and if we produce the results we project over time, the share price will be higher, 30, 40% higher 2, 3 years from now. And management should have the confidence to be bold and pursue such investments, of course, when they believe in it. And to make sure that it works well for shareholders, we need to make sure that the incentives don't discourage those investments, but only reward them when they actually produce the results later on.
All right, Gregory Milano, the CEO of Fortuna Advisors, joining us to talk about corporate growth strategies in the U.S. If you'd like to learn more about his business, you can visit fortuna-advisors.com, and you can also purchase his book, Curing Corporate Short-Termism, on Amazon. Thanks so much for joining us today, Greg.
Thank you very much for having me on, Greta.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.